Guys know the amplifier has been put together, so just want to get that update to you guys on that. So everybody was talking about that. So we have a little delay news on that for the Beam, and well, let's hope we get it going. I'll show you in a second what the problem I'm having. So this is cool. We're looking great. And believe me, you guys need to wake up. Let's give a train whistle on this. Okay, let's go outside for a minute and look at our stuff. You guys will see the problem I'm having, but we're okay. So, you guys see the same result as that, but when you see how it looks like it's bending, so I'll show you in a second. Refractors, we're going to look at it in a second. My mom had a factory fan out today. Lucky it didn't hit the Mako V5000, so lucky it did not bend the antenna at all. I had to move that thing out of the way. She hit a little bit, did not pull the rope that much. Because she's already complaining about this thing, like sitting right here. She was trying to back it up, but she backed it up from this position and that position pretty good. Okay, everything looks like it's still in the same position where the rope is, so we're good. But I'll show you guys in a sec what I'm dealing with. You guys can see it bending that way. It's November 16th, 2024. But I got that thing on last night. What I have to do, if you guys got any pipes you want to donate, just let me know what I can do with this. See how it looks like it's bending the way it is? But I try to lift it up with this. I'm going to reattach the rope back, but like I had before. I tried to lift this up last night. This part started to bend quite a bit like that up to that direction when I did this, when I saw this. Then when I did it before, this pipe was actually bending up like this, or bending down a little bit. It was bending down a little bit that way, but not very much. Right here is where it bends here, but it bent right here because it was like bending up like that. This is pretty fine, guys. This thing's doing good. This part is nothing bending here. It's 5 foot in the rod. That thing's doing great. This part is doing awesome here. This part is what I'm dealing with here. This is actually 1 foot inside this pipe here, like the same one that I did before on this one, the one previous before. This one has 5 foot inside because this one's slipping up pretty good, no problem. So what we have to do is, what I have to do today, I'll show you guys a look at the result. You can see this. I'm going to look on this side. This sun is pretty bad on the side. You see, I have to take this off today and probably slide this down here a little bit later. This will give me between 26 feet, between 30 feet right here. This is a 3 foot rod, but this will actually, I need to get it down here. I'll show you guys a little bit. I'll stand back and look at it for you guys, because I know what it is. But we got the chain hoist and got that out there. But that chain hoist is not much to do. I'm going to give you a strong update on this a little bit. Now you guys can see what I'm looking at. I'll stand back in a second, show you guys what I'm looking at. You see the factory at? I already know what I need. There's two possibilities. You guys see how it looks like that, the way it looks like the angle going down like this? You can tell this pipe is not bent. You can tell that. Look at the way it looks like, the way I'm looking at the way the angle is. It's on the rotor. I put it in on last night. I didn't put any attachments to the rotor cable yet. No, the wire thing. I hadn't done that yet. I had to try to do a test, try to see if that antenna lifts off the ground a little bit. If it lifts off the ground, that means we have progress. So you guys see what I'm dealing with. I'll show you in a second. See the rotor? The way it's looking at how it's bending that top. This is not a pipe from Lowe's I had. I had these back in Utah. I might have to get it right in this position right about here. That put you between 26 feet or 30 feet. We have to try something. We have to detach these things and slide the beam down to here. And that's all I have to do. And mostly you can cut it off with a hacksaw if you want to do it later on that way. But this is the one that actually has 3 foot on the side. That gives you about 33 feet right here. If you cut that down, it'll be down 30 feet, somewhere around here. And if I get it down to here, it'd be like 26 feet right there. See where it bends part of it, how the weight on the pipe is? But I didn't use the proper pipe for this. I'd probably use something like this kind of pipe that will work, but this is just a thin pipe I had. It's not a yard fence. This is from Electrotype This was a pipe that came with my house in Utah, like that guy up there. The one I had took that off that rod there that used to be on my silver antenna a long time ago. It's something like that. This was the one that had my Hammy radio antenna. You guys see my previous video a while back on my other channel. That one had that one on this and that was actually one of them, the antennas that did that. They attached that little wire thing. I might have to get it right here where that birdhouse sign is. That's probably where I have to put that there, or here we'll have to see a look at how we slide it down. It's like it's bending this way. You see how it looks like when you hold the weight? The factor I'm doing it. It could be too much weight on the top, and that's why this thing's bending. I didn't bend it that much at all. I didn't overdid it too much like the last time. Because when I attached this last night, it's actually bending this way a little bit. When I put that chain hoist, I'm going to put it back down where I had before. And if we get the antenna right about here, it should be with less weight factor on this side here. It might do okay. It might bend down. The worst case scenario, it might can bend down that way. That's the only thing it might. That's the worst case scenario could happen. That's the only thing. That's probably a possible worst case scenario can happen if it bends on top. But this weight factor should cut this down in half. It might give me a little bit better lift right here. Who knows? But I would love to have one of these pipes here, like a short type version of it, and put it in here. But I actually put a lot of duct tape and mule tape inside this thing. 2 mule tapes and aluminum tapes in there. I have another extra aluminum tape I found the other day, but I put it inside of that rotor about a month ago and held it with a piece of mule tape and put those bolt type bracket screws in it. Now when I attached this last night, and it should be okay. We'll see what happens when we detach this today. This is going to take a while to get this stuff on the ravel and go through that aluminum tape in there. It's going to take hours, but I will detach with the wrench, get this off here. This is only a 3-foot pipe right here. I had drilled some holes in it a while back. That's the one we first put it up on the serial antenna on that tripod the first time. This is the one you've seen in a lot of the videos that made that contact to 2112 without that bracket. It was this one right here that made that 11 feet off the ground thing when I talked to him with this. So we got to do some work on this, and I hope the weather stays good for a while. You guys can see what I'm dealing with. You guys can take a look. This antenna weighs 13 pounds, believe me. And that's kind of different. Alright. So we're looking at that UDX 362 East Tennessee, and I'm saying, let me give you a zoom. You guys can see that. There we go. 8.9 zoom. You guys can see that. We're looking at it. Yeah. That's what we got to do. You guys can see that thing. It's doing okay. But we need to get this thing in the factory we want. Oh shoot, I have too much zoom on that. There we go, we're back to normal soon. Yeah, because I got the new screen on this thing. It's doing good. So you guys can see what I'm dealing with the problem. See how it's bending that way? It is the pipe. But this pipe is fine, but it, like I told you what happened. I did a test last night. If it does not lift this antenna off an inch off the ground, that's how I know it. We'll probably get it right about there like I told you. Around between 26 feet, 27 feet, or up to 30. I'll have to see if I can get it down here. If I get it down here, the weight lessens out. This is what's making the problem right here. Bending this part where that bracket is leaning down like that. That's probably what's causing all these bends to pipes. That's probably why it's trying to bend that way and what's happening. So we might have to do like I did. We'll have to get this down, then we'll get it down to that weight, and it should be able to. It says to be 3 foot above the rotor. You guys know that. 3 foot above the rotor. Usually puts it right between that birdhouse. Right there, right there. 3 foot of rotor between 4 foot is a good angle. But look how the weight's bending on that pipe, because this is probably holding the weight factor. What I have to do today, I'll take this off. Then I'm going to raise this antenna back up. Make sure I don't see anything bent on these things. It should look okay. That's what I'm going to check. Then we lower it back down and attach the antenna on one of those areas. I was going to hacksaw it, but I'm not going to hacksaw that until we have to see what it does, and we might do that later. But right now I got to get this antenna detached here, then slide this down to here before I do raise the antenna up before that to check everything's okay. Right about here could be the best bet, but look at because this pipe's very thin, you guys can see it. So I just had to give you an update. Then I'm supposed to get my Wi-Fi card sometime today or the next day, but we need to do it. If Dallas wants to help out, he could pitch in, but my mom doesn't want to buy me any more pipes because I want to get another one of these and put it in there. It might keep the weight factor, but I got this attached. You guys see how thin this is, but I had to got this pipe from a leftover pipe I had a while back. These are the ones I bought, and you guys see the attachment here. I'll show you in a second what I did here. I did not concrete that pole in the back, so everything's good. But the chance I got, I'm beating the factor of the cold weather right now. You guys see the forecast, what's happening. I was going to use this as a backup thing. This is the pipe that happened about a month ago. It's been almost a month since this one. I put it in here in the ground. It does not have no concrete. I can pull it out. It's about 3 feet, about a foot in the ground. So this is the chain hoist. These things I bought a while back, a long time ago. I was going to use this for the first time, but I was using this on my wood thing. That's the rope that attaches to it, just in case of backup plan. This one goes to the top of the antenna pipe, right near the rotor. You guys see that? It's all right, pretty good. But that's a backup plan. But this is not a much thing to do. But I was trying to make that. I tried that yesterday. It didn't do anything. But this pipe's looking pretty good shape. I don't want to ruin this whole thing. This part is doing good. I did this right quite when I did this, and everything's been drilled in this. You guys know that. We're going to duct tape these things. What I'm doing right now, I'm trying to see if I raise it off an inch off the ground. That means if that antenna raises off that cardboard, then I know it's going to be okay. So it won't bend that much. But that's where the attachment is at. But if I take it down to here, it'd be okay when it lifts up. It'll keep it from bending. But what I did yesterday, I was trying to raise it off the inch off the ground, see if the antenna did not raise up one little bit, except the rotor raised up a little bit. That's what I did. This is one of the guide wires attached to all these things up here. So I tied these back up when the first time had it back in October. It's been like the same. Before we do that, we'll raise it up an inch off the ground, and that antenna raises up. That means that's how we're going to know. Then we'll attach all the stuff to it and be okay. When it raises the inch off the ground a little bit, that means if it raises up a little bit like I say, that's how we're going to know it's going to be okay and successful. And pray hold this thing does not bend. This is about a foot inside here. The other one's about 5 foot in the nose. This is the main one that makes everything work. It's 5 foot right down here. It's 5 foot from here down to here, somewhere around here. It's right about here when I put it in here. When I slide it further, this would have been 37 feet if it was all extended. But right now, that's 33 feet. You're looking at the antenna. Now, Mama's trying to rush me to raise this antenna. She doesn't understand all this stuff because I don't like people when they rush me. And let me tell you, that's what I'm saying. But I'm giving this out to my UGX guys. If you guys want to help me out, let me know. But I want to see this thing will work the way I'm going to get it down to here. I got to slide this antenna. This is going to be 26 feet or 30 feet. But that part is 3 foot tall with that part. That's 33 feet you're looking at right here. If I get it right here to put this right here, maybe we could hacksaw off of this pipe, be okay. Or leave this for the top for like a thing on the top for reasons. You could do that for either way. But it'll be fine because you can see it. But it shouldn't affect the top that much. If you put it right down here, the factor weight might be able to hold it down. Because if we put it down here, it's not going to bend anything at all. And I have to put it, see, you guys can see how the way it's looking at, the way it's bending. If it does, it'll bend a little bit, not too bad. That's what I'm worried about, the bending factor. If we get it up, this shouldn't snap this at all, because I know it will not. It's got a better grip down here. But this is the weight, it's 13 pounds. We'll see if we can try this. Get this thing detached today on the bracket mounts. They're gonna take me a whole day to do it. This is the one I bought for $20. We can use these for something else. And the worst case scenario, I could put the rotor down to here. I don't want to do that right now, but you can put the rotor down that direction. And that hole's like 10 foot long. That's the worst case scenario. I can put the rotor down to here and attach to this pipe. I'm not going to do that yet. That's the last case scenario. And it's not going to give me a long type beam antenna on top of that. You know what I mean? And it'll be almost the same result as right up to here. But you could always attach brackets to it if you want. That's in case you want to do that. But that's the last resort in case that happens. We have to attach it down to here. But I'm not going to do that yet. What we need to do is this little factor we're looking at here, this weight. You guys see what it is. And it's 13 pounds, but this is a pipe I got a while back in Utah. It's not from Lowe's. These are all from Lowe's. And so we'll just have to put it down here and detach the thing. So I'm going to let you guys go. This is UDX 362, East Tennessee. I'll shock away to you guys. I hope you guys see you on OTR tonight. Very quite good. Hold on a second. There we go. There we go. We got some good shot of that. So good luck to you all guys out there. I'm going to say, let's hope this will work for me. And you guys see what I'm doing with the antenna here. You guys can see the whole thing. Give you a look at good looks of it. Yes, crap does this a lot. So you guys can see what I'm doing. There we go. And you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm dealing with that because this is my new screen on the same phone I'm dealing with. But you guys can see what I'm dealing with. You guys can tell where it's bent. It's not bent. It's not the pipe bent. It's the way, the factor of the weight. You can tell how weighty this thing looks. It's 13 pounds, but you guys can see. I'll show you a little bit before we go. So that's what the pipe I put in that. This is the one had that little short pipe the first time I put the serial on the tripod before. And the other part is the one we talked on 2112 right here with this thing here before I put the bracket. There's holes in that bracket on the top, but they're okay. But we're going to slide it down to here. We'll have to look at it. And I might actually lift that bend off because it won't bend that much down there. It might bend down this way a little bit. I don't know. We'll have to see what it does. It could be because the pipe's all the way down there. 3 foot might give me, it'll be giving me like 26 feet, between 27, almost 30. That will give me like 30. This is 33 feet. This is 3 foot long. This will give me that way. We'll have to slide it down to there, 29 feet or 30 feet. Somewhere right here, we'll see what happens. But I think I'm going to put it down to 26 feet right there. It's the only thing I can keep that thing from the weight from collapsing. That's probably the only way it will work. But you can always change this pipe out something better later on. So I just want to let you guys go. This is UDX 362, East Tennessee, 79 smoke screen, Shockwave. And I'll catch you guys later. And don't forget to check out Old 2 Radio Network comes on tonight. And Old Radio Net comes on tonight. So I hope we can get this beam up to this week. I hope we have some progress. We might have a failure on this, but I hope no failure happens. That's what I'm saying. And let's see if this weight factor gets down. This is the only one. But I heard these antennas are very powerful we have. They might be around 26, 27 feet, I'm guessing. Or 30 feet at that range. So I'll catch you guys later. UDX 362, East Tennessee. 79 smoker screen. UDX 362, Foxman 362, World Radio on YouTube. And nice clear skies today. Catch y'all guys later. We'll bring out some more videos soon.